welcome to you wherever you are across the world. My name is Ashaolu Femi. This is Sport Africa. This is where we bring to you issues regarding footballing stories and, of course, other sporting events on the continent of Africa. Of course, the 13th African Games is still ongoing in Ghana, of course, Nigeria, Egypt, and particularly South Africa and countries from the North Africa. They are ramping up the medals right there. And recently, Ghanaian athletes, they lamented that they didn't get enough preparations, and that has been the reason for their poor showing so far at the tournament they are hosting. All right, today, but that is not what we get attention on the show today. So much to talk about. Kyle Ndare and James Agberibi, they are here. Guys, once again, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Femi. It's a pleasure to be here, as always.
Yeah, thank you, Femi. I'm happy to be on today's edition.
All right, let's take you through our regular program. If you're just joining us for the first time, we're talking about the continental roundup, then the big talking points, then we have our standing diaspora today, and of course, the big game that will be going down on the continent today. But let's get started with the continental roundup. Of course, initially, we thought that age falsification was restricted to football for young football teams in Africa, but players in the senior national team are gradually getting caught up in the web. And today we'll be going to Cameroon. Recently, the FECAF suspended 62 players for age falsification, even some double identity. Then we'll be going to Ghana. The vacant coaching position for the Black Stars is bringing controversy once again. The government wants a particular candidate, and the GFA are rooting for another candidate. Remember, that was what happened when they initially appointed Otto Addo, and Otto Addo is involved in this once again. And finally, we'll be going to Nigeria today for our talking point, where Jose Peseiro, the former Super Eagles coach, has been saying that he didn't win the AFCON, so to say, because a particular player that was injured. So those are the issues that we'll be looking at on the show today. But before we get to the talking point, let's go on this very brief break. We'll be back. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. It's still Sport Africa. Like they say, gratitude is never out of fashion. Thank you so much for keeping faith with Sport Africa. But please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please don't just watch. Please also subscribe. Just click on that subscribe button. And of course, you can also click on that notification button so that you get the video as soon as they drop. Because the content that we give you right here, it's what you might not even find on the mainstream media. Okay, Kyle, let's get started. You and I, we had a little chat on this before we came on talking. And this guy, I think I saw him during the AFCON on the touchline, I think during Nigeria versus Cameroon. And I didn't know that I was going to later be at the center of a major controversy. He had a double identity, according to a French daily known as Le Monde. They claimed that Andre Badeli, he was formerly known as Andre Badeli. Now he's known as Nathan Douala. And everyone is asking why the name change. Initially, according to Le Monde, he played for a club in South Africa known as Victoria. You claiming to be Badeli, and all of a sudden, and was 21 at that time. Now, all of a sudden, he went to the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire for Cameroon. It wasn't used at all, but it was among the players that were registered for the competition, claiming to be 17 under a different identity. So this Le Monde has written to the Confederation of African Football to take a step regarding this. And the immediate step that the FECAF has taken is to suspend 62 players involved in age falsification. This is terrible. And these are not even age grade players who played in age grade football. They played for senior teams.
Well, I think as abhorrent, as bad as it is to falsify ages, because once you falsify your age, you are certainly going to do something illegal. I'm not wrong if I say it's a common practice all over Africa, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. If you take out the northern part and then maybe in South Africa, because of a lack of reliable data, Femi. This is because we lack adequate data. If we have a system that that respects data and protects data. Femi, for some people, data is much more valuable than money because data will fetch you money. So, but we have a system that is so lax, that is so permissive, that people can, today, Femi, you can be called Femi, tomorrow you come and tell us you are Ashino, the next day you come and tell us you are Samuel. Nobody's going to check you. You know, like you said, when we were talking off air about something, and I said, when you said something about, you made some allegations, I said, where is the proof? If you have proof, it's easy to just, people can come up with anything, but if you have proof, then it makes it easy. What you just need to do is present your proof against this person, and then there's no need to dally on his case any longer. But we have to have data and respect the integrity of data.
Okay. James, before I come to you, James, I think our viewers across the world should look at this guy on the screen and actually tell us if they feel he is 17 years old. Because I was jokingly telling Kadi that if this guy should undergo an MRI, he's going to destroy that machine entirely, because this guy cannot claim to be 17. And James, it is a widespread problem in sub-Saharan Africa, because currently I know of a top Nigerian player who someone close to the family said they had an issue, and the family threatened that if the guy doesn't behave, they're going to reveal his real age. You know, that will open a can of worms, serious can of worms, and the guy knows that might likely even wreck his career entirely. But at one point, should players begin to take responsibility? Yeah, Kali has said we don't have data, but at one point, should players at least take responsibility for some of this action? Yeah, the system is porous, you can take advantage, but then players too, they have a lot of role to play in this.
Femi, the players, I think the kind of footballers we have in this part of the world is that there are players who just want to survive, who want to do everything possible to take their family out of poverty. So if it means, reducing their age, I mean, this thing has been like forever. It has been there. Even right on the days of the Golden Eaglets '85, when this under 17 World Cup kick-started and the rest. This thing has been there and it has continued to be there. So for me, just like Kavida said everything, until we start taking note of all this data stuff. I mean, to continue to come back and still say this thing, it's a shameful incident. Because when I saw the guy too, I you always want to tell you that these guys who are born outside Africa, they cannot lie about their age, because they feel where they are coming from, the system works. But I mean, how are you going to explain this? Because when they said, when I heard that the guy is 17, I had my doubts, but I still want to, because they will tell you they mature quickly, but I mean, this one is just
This one is grandpa.
it's not even only him. This one is beyond even. I think this one it's the ones that we've been talking about in the past. I think this is the highest of all of them. So I mean, it's a good step that the FECAFOOT decided to take this step, because I mean it's a shame, because if you're like football now in Africa, most especially in the sub-Saharan, it's like what we do is, even our so-called academy, nothing works there. You just set it up for because you want everybody to make you believe. You want people to believe that okay, you have an academy that is running, but all the things that needed to run an academy, Femi, all those things are not in place. That's why you keep seeing all these things. Look at our under 17, under 20 team at the African Games going on. When you check out most of the guys there, you know that these are players who are close to 30 years. So until we come out and say the truth, we will continue to, even the so-called Europeans, they know that African players cheat. They know, but I mean, it's just something that is the truth that we are not ready to discuss. So it's a good step that the FECAFOOT has taken, and let's just hope the other countries too will take a step from it and kill this monster, because it's really eating deep in our football, especially in the sub-Saharan African countries.
Okay, so this is coming on the back of a report that Gabon player Agelo Kanga Kaku met with CAF's disciplinary committee to explain why his mother died in 1986 and he was born in 1990. These things are funny.
But Femi, I will need to quickly say something. First and
Okay.
foremost, what you just said now, I do not believe there's a substance to it. This for me is just social media talk. But I want us to be careful about something. There's nobody, not even FIFA, that can challenge the age anybody puts forward, except you have irrefutable evidence. So Femi, I can tell you I am 14 years old now. You cannot say I lied, except you can provide proof.
You have lied.
There's no, listen Femi, there's no medical, as it is now, there's no medical technology that can prove conclusively that a player is not the age he has said. What FIFA tests for is bone marrow pressure, that's the MRI. And from the MRI, it just says this person is an adult. It doesn't give you that he's 15 years old or 16 years old or that he was born on the 4th of February or the 12th of February. No, it just measures a gauge, a range that this person is an adult. So, and that's the loophole that everybody is trying to go through now, that as long as FIFA, so what FIFA does is, FIFA says they will rely on the integrity of their member associations. And the member associations too, because they are not the ones who gave birth to these players, they have to rely on the integrity of the players' parents. Unfortunately, because football now is a means to achieving wealth and fame, everybody is ready to bend to lie in order to succeed. I dare tell you that since the advent of underage football, I can tell you conclusively, I can tell, not conclusively anyway, that a huge majority have not used their real age. Femi, I know what is an African under 17-year-old looks like, and I tell you, not half of those real African under 17 footballers can actually play the kind of football that is required at that level. I have 17-year-olds. I have 20-year-olds as cousins, as nephews and nieces. So I know what I'm talking about. But it's not like that in the Western world. You see somebody that will tell you I'm 21, and unless you check their ID, you will think they are 40. And it's not like they are playing football or any sport, so you cannot accuse them of age cheating.
Okay, guys, so we will still find time to talk about this. We have already overshot our time in this segment, but I agree about what you said regarding technology proving people's age, because a former Super Eagles player said that even you could be 17 and MRI will screen you out for an 18 or 19 grade football. So I completely agree with that. Now let's go to Ghana, guys. James, I'll start with you. Otto Addo is back in the saddle for the Black Stars regarding interest from the GFA. According to a report by Ghana Web, they said the GFA wants him back, and it seems that he has given the GFA his green light. But again, they said the government of Ghana, they are trying to bring in this Belgian guy, McBride, from the back door. And currently, according to the report, the Belgian is in Ghana and is seriously lobbying for the job. So that has thrown up a kind of controversy once again, which the Black Stars do not even need at this time. James.
Well, there's nothing wrong if someone like Otto Addo want to, handle the Black Stars again. But for me, if I would advise him, I think he should just let the job be, because things are not really looking good. I mean, the dust that they always comes up anytime. I don't know, between Ghana and Nigeria, who is worse when it comes to appointing coaches. I mean, they leave the on-pitch issues and they focus on the issues outside. And I remember what happened to Chris Hughton when one of the GFA member went live on a radio program and voiced out his displeasure about the coach. I mean, so I think Otto Addo, I don't know, it's not going to go down well with him, because I mean, now the coach, they don't have a coach, and look at the kind of issue that's already coming up. Even when they have a coach, it's still criticism. And so for me, he should just stay back in Germany and focus on other things, because coming back, still not the same issues. They're not going to give me free hand. They're going to get a lot of criticism, even when he's trying to do something right. they'll still come back at him. And I mean, he said like he decided to take a break, and I think he should just stay back in Germany. There's no point coming back. It's a divided this thing now. There are camps now in terms of who should coach the team. So even if he gets up, he's not going to have a smooth sailing experience. He's going to be bashing here and there, and there's no way they're going to survive or concentrate and do well when if the people who are supposed to give you support are the ones who are constantly on your neck. So for me, as I said personally, if I have the opportunity, I will just tell him to just stay off the job.
Okay. Kayode, I tried to look at the profile of this McBride. I saw that he's coached PSV in Holland. He's coached Trudeau, of course, in Belgium, and of course, Louvain. And again, he doesn't have much experience right here in Africa. But again, if you look at the Black Stars job, I think the coach, the home-based coach that is even close to Otto Addo is currently Abdulkarim Zito, the coach of Dreams, who are doing well in the CAF Confederation Cup. Would you also say that, would you advise Otto Addo to also, again, stay away from the Black Stars job? Because when your country needs you, would you say no?
Femi, honestly, lightning doesn't strike twice. Otto Addo got away with what he did, qualifying for the World Cup and going to the World Cup. I'm telling you, the same people who are clamoring for him now will be the first to start pulling him down. So if he is smart as I hope he is, he will stay away from this job, Femi. Unfortunately, yeah, it's easy. It's tempting to say, oh, your country needs you. When they needed him, he stepped in, he helped them, and he left wisely. He left when he did. Now it is tempting to say you are coming back by seeing yourself in this role of a messiah. No, sir. It is tempting fate to think you will come back and you'll be the one that will take them to the promised land. No, I don't think that. Unfortunately, too, I think we are battling with FAs across Africa who have an inferiority complex. They believe wrongly, in my opinion, that it is only a white man that can take their countries to the promised land. If Pesero were a Nigerian, for example, the fact that his contract was up, the FA would have continued. They would have continued with him on a long journey, because when you have to see the bigger picture sometimes. It's not about sometimes you win battles and you lose the war. It's not about trying to win battles. It's about the long term. Like, okay, regardless of results now and in the immediate future, we want to go on a long journey with these guys. Put Ghanaian-born coaches, put Nigerian-born coaches, put Cameroonian. Yeah, at a point in time, you have had issues with Ghanaian coaches in charge. But the problem, or the way it is you've also had the same problem with foreign-born coaches. Whatever Pesero has done, what's his name? Keshi had done it. It took the Eagles to the final in 1984. So it's not as if Pesero has done anything that extraordinary that we have not seen. Whatever any foreign-born coach has won for Nigeria, the Nigerian-born coach has won. Siasia took us to the final of the Olympics. Yeah, he didn't win, but he made a statement. He took us to the final. He took us to win silver. Took us to win bronze. So for me, that's a show that they are Nigerians if you give them the enabling environment. Femi, I challenge the NFA, for example, to pay a Nigerian $70,000 a month.
That's another story entirely that hopefully by Monday we'll be talking about. Because of our time, we'll not even be able to talk about the Jose Pesero issue again, because you just echoed what Edema Foludu said recently about even giving local coaches $35,000,
Yes.
and it's going to motivate them to even do very great job for the national team. Let's go on this break. When we return, we'll talk about our stars in diaspora and of course the big game going down on the continent this weekend. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. It's still Sports Africa. We've been having very interesting conversation right here. We went to Cameroon where we talk about the age falsification scandal rocking the FECA foot. And of course, in Ghana, the vacant position for the coaching of the Black Stars is again, throwing up a lot of doors in that country. The government is interfering in what the GFA wants to do. We'll get our fingers crossed to see what happens, right? Okay, today I start in the diaspora. Of course, we'll stay in Ghana, and it is one other person other than Mohamed Kudus. The guy has been doing well, and again, it reminds me of what happened to the Black Stars at the AFCON, where you had, if you have Mohamed Kudus, Anto Semenyo is also doing well. You have Naki Williams, who does well also at the club level. Then the Black Stars, they have no reason not to have even won that AFCON. He scored 2 goals yesterday in West Ham's 5-0 thrashing of Freiburg in the UEFA Europa League. James, in just 1 minute, 15 goals in 36 matches so far this season. He scored a couple before for Ajax before he moved to West Ham this season. Then Ghana have a star, but like I believe coaching is the problem of the Black Stars. Very quickly in 1 minute, James.
Yeah, a good one for Kudus. At least it shows that he can mix it up in the Premier League. There are a lot of players who went to the Premier League and they struggled and they had to run back. The likes of Shevchenko, the likes of their very first season they struggled. They couldn't even hack it. But this is somebody who came from Ajax, and I think the good thing there that really helped him. David Moyes didn't throw him into the mix immediately. He benched him in some games, was bringing him in gradually, and he was getting used to the pace of the Premier League and the nature and everything, and he was able to mix it up and just start firing. So he's one of their key players and one of the signing of the season. So good one for him, and hopefully they'll go far in the tournament. Last time they won the Conference League, and who knows, maybe they can be in the mix for the Europa League. So a good one for him. For the Black Stars, it happens. I mean, he went to the AFCON not really fit. And there's little that he contributed his own quota. He scored some interesting goals, but unfortunately, the team is only a good team, and there was nothing he would have done. So it showed that he's a top player, and we've seen it do it. We've seen him do it for West Ham continuously, and let's see what happens, especially in the summer. Let's see whether he's still going to remain in West Ham, because the way he's playing now, I think a lot of top clubs will be knocking on the doors.
Okay, all right. Kayode, our big match for this weekend involves a club that you support, and that's why they really left this for you. It will be a Southwest Derby in Nigeria. Southwest Derby in Nigeria in the week 26 MPFL fixture. It will be Shooting Stars hosting Remo Stars. And if you look at the form, it's been for Shooting Stars, it's been win draw for them. Of course, last midweek, this week, they went all the way to Gombe, defeated Doma United 1-0. And for Remo Stars, it's been back-to-back. It's been win, lose, draw. Remember, they were involved in a Southwest Derby also against the got Pumelt 4-1. But they remedied the situation during the midweek. They recorded a 1-0 victory over Enyimba in Nikenne. What are you expecting this game, Kayode? It's going to be feisty, really.
Incidentally, like you said, I support 3SC. I've been a lifelong fan of the club. But of course, they've seen better days. In the last 5 games, they've not been beaten in the last 5 games. They've won 3 and drawn 2. Made some very, very amazing achievements on the road. They drew Plateau United, they drew Gombe United, and now they went back to Gombe to go and play Doma, and they won. And in between that, they had a huge win, 3-0 against Aqua United at home in their last game. So this Sunday, they're going to play Remo Stars. Incidentally, every game since Remo Stars got into the Premier League, every game, I think almost all the games between the two, even when they play preseason tournaments, has always ended in a 3-0 victory, either for Remo Stars or for 3SC. So you begin to wonder what exactly is going on. In the corresponding fixture in the first round, Remo Stars won this time 3-0. 3SC are in a position to also take their pound of flesh, hopefully win by that same 3-goal margin. Because we've come to understand that, and Remo Stars have been the kings of the Southwest derbies. They've beaten almost everybody until they got their nose bloodied in Lagos last weekend against Sporting Lagos. So 4-1 they lost. That means that gives a glimmer of hope to 3SC that we could also seize our chance and win big. against this Remo Stars. And if they are able to do that, it sets them up nicely for one of the continental slots, even though they are still 7th on the league. But the nature of the competitiveness of the Nigerian league means that if you lose a game, Femi, it could have untold consequences for you. I'll give you I'll give you a very quick example. 2 weeks ago, Enyimba were top of the league. They lost the game. They dropped down to 5th. They won the next game. They went back to 2nd. Now they lost against Remo Stars.
They are back to
They are back to. So a point or two could just decide your future, your fortune in the league. It's a very, very competitive one. For example, between Lobby Stars in 1st position and 3SC in 7th position are just 9 points, 3 game days. So for you to understand how competitive it is. So, and that's why you remember I've always advocated that if you're going to punish any team, all you need to do is do not find them financially. Deduct points. But United have 3 points deducted, and that's why they're languishing at the bottom of the table as we speak. So for me, this tells you that everything is possible in this league. This is the week 20. They've played 25 games so far, Femi, and there's nobody who can tell you with even 75% certainty that this club is going to win the league. Nobody.
Because I'll still come to you. I'll still come to you about 3SC's ambition. James, are you expecting Remo Stars to lose back-to-back derbies? You know, last weekend they got 4-1. They got beaten by Remo Stars. Pumel, as a matter of fact, not just beaten by Remo Stars. Now they are going to Salami Stadium in Ibadan. Are you expecting another defeat for them? Because on paper, regarding form, Shooting Stars, they are better than Remo currently.
Femi, if not for the way things are now, you're not even supposed to be calling Shooting Stars and Remo Stars derby. I mean, when you look at the history of, just the way things are now, Shooting Stars, it's like comparing Real Madrid and Arsenal. Shooting Stars have seen it all. Shooting Stars have seen it. No, it's true. It's because the way Shooting Stars they've fallen off for years now. But you two, you know what I'm saying. The Remo Stars when they did. So, but looking at the game for the weekend, I think I'm going to give it to Shooting Stars. I mean, they will not allow Remo. Remo is still a small club to where Shooting Stars is. No matter what. So I think I see them back-to-back defeats. I'm giving it to Shooting Stars. In terms of history, in terms of everything. Current form, they are there. So.
Okay, all right. Kayode, as we wrap up, Shooting Stars is the ambition to win title this season or just to get the continental ticket? And are you satisfied with what Gbenga Ogunbote has done so far in 1 minute as we wrap up?
Actually, this is his 2nd year in the Sedu, and realistically, I do not think they are going to win that continental ticket. And I will tell you why. Because there are only 4 spots, and they are more than more than 5-6 stronger teams in terms of players, in terms of depth. You are going to look at Rivers United, because they're still engaged in the continent. They have a number of matches to play. They have played 22. They have 3 more outstanding games. There's Enyimba, of course, perennially they are big. There's Rivers United, Enyimba. There's Lobby Stars who have done exceptionally well. There's Remo Stars too who have played on the continent, so they know what it takes. So there are a lot of players. There are a lot of teams between them and that top. So, of course, miracles do happen. As a fan, I would want that to happen. But realistically, as a pundit, I know that it's going to be a tough ask. They are on a good run now. Like they are like one of the only 2 teams who have won the most number of points in their last 5 games. 11 out of 15 points they've won in the last 5 games. That for me is massive. I hope they are able to continue against Remo Stars on Sunday. But like I said, I will just keep my fingers crossed, and hopefully they can take the games one at a time.
Okay, all right. Of course, you can see how exciting local football is on the continent. Go to Cameroon, go to Ghana. It is the same thing everywhere. So we have to support our own to make it a big brand like what you have in England, in Spain, and in Italy. You can see my own hometown club and James's hometown club. We are wallowing in relegation at this moment. That is why we can't even say anything at all. They hope we had fun as much as I do. of course, on Sports Africa. But these are what we bring to you regularly on the show. Wherever you are across the world, please don't forget, don't just watch our video. Please subscribe to our channel. You've given us this so much support, and we do not take it lightly at all. What do you think about issues that we've raised, particularly about the age falsification scandal in Cameroon, particularly that Nathan Drala? Does he look like a 17-year-old man? Please let us know in the comment session. We'll see you all later on. That's Monday. This is the beginning of the weekend. We'll see you all on Monday by God's grace. Have a fantastic time for yourself. Bye for now. I remain Ashalu Oluwatemi.